Welcome. RC family, welcome to another episode of the RC Lounge podcast. Hey, we doing it big tonight, y'all. We doing it big tonight. Hey, man, we done had a good week. Let's do a recap. Who we had on here this week? We had kicking it off with Ty Tessman. Had him this week. We had Cody King yesterday. Originally, he supposed to came on Thursday, but he had to reschedule. His mom got sick, so we had to do a follow-up, and we capped that off last night. So, and then tonight, we got another banger. One of the bad boys of RC. One of the originators. Yes, sir. One of the originators. So yeah, let me bring my partner in. So y'all see, I've been telling y'all I'm well connected, deep in this game. You know what I'm saying? So let me bring my partner on up in here. We've been talking about this for weeks, months, and it's about to go down. And hey, RC family, just sit back and enjoy. Let me bring the main man up in here, the bad boy, Mr. Jeremy KOZTS himself. Up in the RC Lounge. Hey, man. Okay, Mr. KOZTS. Okay. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey. Yes, sir. Hey, man, Jeremy KOZTS, I appreciate it, bro. Oh, man. They've been asking about you, man.
Yeah, I know. You've been trying to do this for a long time.
Hey, man, like I said, bro, just totally thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And again, regardless of what they say about you, you all right with EKJ 24,000. Oh, man, but yeah, bro, like I say, man, thank you again for just jumping in, man, and just, just supporting me, and I got your back. And like I said, we've been talking back and forth. And this, again, another great opportunity, to you to tell your own story instead of letting other people tell it and hearing it through off Facebook from other people. It's just time, you can clear yourself up and you just can speak from your own heart and just be open, transparent as you would like. And, man, like I said, this just, we talking like we in the pits. Like we partners, we at the track. We may, like we in the same, living room together, just kicking it, watching the game. Hold on, since I said something about watching the game, hold on. Let's see what I got up here. Hold on. Okay, it's a commercial right there. That's the game right there. They on commercial. So we keep
we know what you're watching.
Yeah. No, I ain't watching. You know what I mean? We keeping tabs on the score, so we gonna see what the 49ers and the Chiefs doing. We got it. For y'all just listening to it, I'm just putting up the game. I got it backstage, so we gonna see how that score gonna be. So as we talk. But yeah, bro, like I say, man, I appreciate your time. And welcome again, brother. And I'm just glad just to have you, man. And like I say, I know this is a rare occasion, but I appreciate you sharing it with me. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate it as well. I haven't done anything with anyone in a long time for a reason, so I felt like you were the one to come back and talk to.
Oh, I appreciate that, brother. So yeah, man, Jeremy, just tell everybody where you're from and who you are.
Jeremy Cords from Ventura, California. 47
Mm.
years old yesterday.
Okay, well, happy birthday, bro.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, man. You 1 year older than me. I'm 46. So
We're both
yeah,
crazy.
we right there together, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I
So yeah,
agree.
bro. So yeah, man. Like I said, just tell everybody how you get into RC, bro. How you came to find RC and what brought you to it.
Well, it started when I was like 10 years old. My dad bought us some like the radio controller. They're called Lobos from Radio Shack. He just put the double eight batteries in there, and
Mm-hmm.
little by little, just played around the front yard. And then my dad drag raced a lot, and there's this company called JG Manufacturing that was next to one of his buddy's shop,
Yeah.
which had real RC stuff. So that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of when I saw it, and then I saved up my allowance. And I always remember off of Craigslist, I bought a used RC10 for $75.
Okay. RC10. Okay, so the RC10 was really your first race grade RC, RC car.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, after the Lobos, my dad I remember came home with a Tamiya Big Bear.
Okay.
So I did the Big Bear for a while, ripped the body off like seemed like every other day, and then that's when I really kind of like got into RC cars, saw the next phase of like real racing cars. So
Yeah.
I started to drive, in the front of the house, and then went to a track called Hot Tracks down in down in Huntington Beach back in the
Huntington Beach.
day.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, so that was your the RC10. So you really started on the 10 scale side
Yeah.
into racing.
hmm The
So
gold
what
chassis and everything.
uh-huh. So you raced down at what was the name of the track again?
Hot Tracks.
Hot Tracks on Huntington Beach. Okay. From there, man, just running and you getting into it for the first time. Did your dad help you, or who really got you, had you
Oh
back
yeah.
getting you into it? Uh huh.
Yeah, my dad raced and all his buddies, and then started off in the novice class, and then just learn how to work on my own stuff there at the track. And then, of course, as I progressed, he would kind of help me, and then little by little, just kind of took off from there and
Yeah.
did the thing.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. So when you got into it, got racing for racing, getting into the groove of racing itself. Who did you anybody you kind of looked up to once you got to the track, or anybody that really caught your eye that you modeled your racing after, or anything like that? Who did you really look up to?
It's funny you say that. I still talk to him at least once, twice a month. Jay Halsey.
Jay
You know?
Halsey, jamming Jay Halsey. Yeah, bring
Yeah.
yeah, he what he made the jamming buggy and truggy.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
when we
really the
started,
first truggy. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. When we first started racing down at Hot Tracks, he was, world champion, this and that. And then his dad and I would always play the pinball machine. I was like 12 years old playing pinball with Jim. And
Yeah.
then little by little, our families got real close. That's when
Mm-hmm.
Mark Pavitas was out there racing too. He didn't have a driver's license, so he would always hang out with me and my dad. We'd give him a ride home. But that's where
Cool.
I started to see like the next level, and the way he
Okay.
drove with his long hair. And I was like, oh shit, that's the guy I want to like imitate or, intimidate, not intimidate, but, copy him.
Emulate. I
You
got you.
know? Yeah.
So yeah, so you really just came accustomed and kind of was drawn to, Mark Pavitas and his style of driving.
No, Mark and I were young. We were dumbasses
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Oh yeah. He would
Okay.
show up at the track with his bicycle with his RC car in his backpack. So we go way
Okay.
back.
Yeah. So Jam and Jay was the guy that you really, really
Yeah.
patterned your style after. Okay. So what was Jam and Jay, driving then when back then when you was coming up?
It was still for Associated, the RC10 and stuff before he switched
Okay.
over to Losi. So
Mm-hmm.
way
Okay.
back in the day.
I got you. From there, bro, how did you eventually got into 1A scale? Did you go to the e buggy side first, or did you went right into the nitro? How did that came about?
Well, like when I was in high school, I remember the same time I left Team Associated after I got like a factory ride and they were paying for everything. And then won some races, and then I think it was in 10th grade.
Uh,
Brian Kinwald left Team Associated to go to Losi, and at that time I just switched, prior, and I was beating Brian at the Roar Nats, and then So I signed my contract. I got a $3,000 signing bonus, $1,000 a month, and this was like in
Okay.
'93. And
Yeah.
Kinwald signed, and
Okay.
then after that, it just little by little progressed, and
Mm-hmm.
then did really well for a long time in Tensko. And then I had a problem with an old teammate at a track, got into a fight, and then
How
I
did?
was probably the first guy ever fired or released from his contract. You
Yeah.
know, still in high school, already banned. So
How did that come about? What do you remember? How that came about? You get in the fight with the guy at the track. Well, how that came about? Tell us about that.
uh, his name was Sorab Tabacoli. He knows who I'm talking about. And me and Kinwald were racing at a club race, like Wednesday
Yeah.
night at a place called SoCal. And we started
Mm-hmm.
going backwards on the track during the main event. Him and I were like,
Okay.
fuck it. We took each other out because we always wanted
Yeah.
to beat each other. So then we
Mm-hmm.
started driving backwards. Well, I hit Sorab head on, and then he just went ape shit in the driver's stand. So we got into it.
I
And then
got you.
that's what happened there. Then I was in, like a week or two later, I got a letter in the mail from Pops saying you're terminated. Still have the letter somewhere. So I got fired,
Hey
hired and
man.
fired within a year.
Yeah.
And
You
then,
already know you can't go backwards on the tracks, Jeremy. What's up with that? Hey, you already know the number one rule.
well, Brian and I were really good friends back then.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and so was Sorab, and all of us were like factory guys, and just just one of those things that I think Sorab was like really excited, like with winning the main or the main event. That it just I think
Yeah.
he really wanted to beat Brian and I get where he was coming from. But then
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, get fired, and then so I took about a 3-year layoff from racing. So I was
Okay.
like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good, you know.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue, Greg Degani calls me,
Okay.
and
Great. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he switched to Kyosho, and he's like, "Hey, I'll give you a ride, and we're doing A scale now. Why don't you come over here and I'll help you out." So I
Mm-hmm.
go start doing A scale with him, and then once I started doing A scale, I just fell in love with it. Like it's
Okay.
amazing.
Right.
That's how A scale started for me. Was Greg
I
Degani.
got you. Okay. So driving with Ken Wall, being kind of sound like you was close to Ken Wall. Was Ken Wall really particulars about how he did his cars, and was he really detailed on his stuff?
Oh, he was so anal. He was
Re-
amazing.
really?
Yeah, he hated me and I hated him because he had his work ethic. Like he'd be at the track all the time testing and this and that. And then him and I used to pit together a lot. And
Uh-huh.
so he would get mad at me because I'd copy his setups because I was too lazy to like work on my own stuff. Not work on it, but just he was at the track every single day. I was still in high school and stuff at certain
Yeah.
points. So and
Mm-hmm.
then he was definitely more mechanical and engineering wise, way smarter than me, but he knew I was a better driver, but my shit would fall apart. So then I would just started kind of like learning from him. But he was so good at like understanding what needed to get done with the car or doing bald tires or I mean doing some amazing stuff where
Right.
that I would just be lazy and just copy what he did and so then it kind of took off a little bit from there. Him and I started getting like a Tupac Biggie battle.
Okay. Back and forth.
The more
Mm-hmm.
yeah the more competitive we both got and the industry more money started coming back, like drivers getting paid more, and then it almost became we weren't friends anymore.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
So it was
Yeah.
pretty gnarly.
I got you. I got you. Okay, during that time, man, coming up, you got hooked up with Kyo Show with Greg the Gun and them. So what was the time that you really kind of noticed yourself getting up the pace, getting faster, and when it kind of dawned on you, like that light went off, like, man, I may have a future in this.
Well, before Degani got me, I already won
Mm-hmm.
like almost every Roar National, Norca National, everything in 10 scale, the re-race invitational. So I mean I already
Okay, you did some
was
things, yeah.
gnarly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I just never raced a 10 scale in electric because I was always got in trouble or every other year, so I never really qualified it. And the one year that I think I won everything in the US is the year Kinwald won two-wheel drive. I think it was just two-wheel drive in England for
Okay,
associated. So that was like the one year I was really good and just never
yeah,
made it.
I got you. I
So
got you, man. That's what's up. So, do you remember how many nationals you won?
I think I have 16.
16.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think Ty Tesman had like 17 nationals. Um, but yeah, brother. So Doing that, how come you think a lot of the I asked this to Cody and Ty. A lot of the US drivers don't really like to go like over to Europe and race and stuff like that. What you
Well,
think about that?
I
Mm-hmm.
think nowadays, it's
Yeah,
a big cost. Everything's so expensive. But
yeah,
I know in the early 2000s, when Degani and I, Pavitas, all the Americans, Scott Hughes, I mean, all of us that were racing, you could fly overseas with all your stuff except for fuel pretty easily.
right,
And then as times and everything that's happened, the world's gotten crazy. It's almost like it's a pain in the ass to fly.
right.
With all your stuff getting stopped through customs, and I think a lot of it is cost.
Mm-hmm.
And back when we in the early 2000s with us, the European scene was good and awesome, but the American scene I think was bigger. So
Okay.
like you would send the Americans over there, or different pros to kind of
Yeah.
show them I think our pace. And now they've caught up to us, and like it seems like no
Mm-hmm.
matter where you go, there's a top 10 guy in the world at any country you're at now.
Right, right, right.
So
But yeah, yeah, man. Like I said, I just always wondered, because it seemed like a lot of times, they would come over. They don't have no problem really coming to the U.S. and running like at Dirt Nitro Challenge and like at the 10 scale worlds and stuff like that. But I know from Ty and Cody, they were saying it just like you were saying, it's hard to fly with all your equipment and stuff like that, getting through customs, and then a lot of the times the tracks over there are just tracks that's there. They don't change their layouts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's been there
And
for a
it
long time.
right, so they know what pace to be on to win, and it's hard to try to catch up to that pace and be competitive once you're on a track that you don't know, and your competitors all know that track. It's just super tough doing it that way too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially when we're only there. Let's say it's a weekend race. So you get there, let's say you fly out on a Monday the week of, takes
Mm-hmm.
you, depending on where you're at, takes you 12 to 20 hours to get there. And then you have jet lag, opposite time zones. Then you only have a day or two to practice with the stuff you think it's going to work. So
Right.
when all those guys had weeks and months on the track, so it's kind of hard for us to catch up to them
Mm-hmm.
compared to them coming over here for the Nitro Challenge, where it's a brand new layout. We don't run there much, so it's all even ground. So we kind of get our ass kicked when we go overseas, unless you've
Right.
been there, several times.
Uh-huh.
And not get
Okay.
our ass kicked like really far behind, but you know what I mean, having that extra couple tenths or a
Right.
second or lap, and knowing what the track's going to break down and what to change for, or weather, all that shit adds up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, man. It makes a difference really, cause they already know what tire. You know what I'm saying, and all that. That takes takes a lot to figure out. And you going somewhere and people already know those things, and it's sometimes it may be a language barrier, so it's hard to really communicate to see what's what. You know what I'm saying, until everybody's on the track, and by that time it's too late to what I'm saying, to change your stuff and readjust. So, but yeah, that's all they were saying, man. They were saying it was just tough to compete when the track has already been there and they got they lap times down. They used to the track and you getting used to it. So, but yeah, bro. So how did you how did the name Bad Boy came about? Like, what was this? How you get this bad persona? I mean, I know you just beat up the dude in the 10 scale
No,
at the
I
10
don't.
scale race.
I
So
think
how that came about? But it's good though. Go ahead, tell me.
I think
Hmm.
what it was is because I was probably a little bit more of a smart ass, and you know what I mean, kind of lippy with everybody, but also
Yeah.
like I think it was one of those where everybody was trying so hard back when I was younger, and like you have to do this, this, and this a certain way in order to be fast. I came in there and did the opposite. I was just like me,
Right.
kind of loud person, didn't practice a lot back then, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of showed up and did everybody else a certain way, and I just couldn't be that certain way. So I think
Right.
like and then having tattoos, smoking cigarettes, and partying the night before, then going out and win the race over the weekend, kind of thing. So I
Right.
think it just kind of turned into that style for me, I guess.
Yeah, man. Hey, but like I said, now, I mean, it's good because, especially now, because we just trying to get more exposure to RC, and get it out there, for everybody can see and get more eyes on it. And we need that. We need like Keenan does, give all the races nicknames just to make it catchy. People can remember you by.
Yeah.
Um, So it just makes a story. So if an opportunity do come for it to be on TV, um, it'll be a great story. We'll have a plot. We'll have a script. We'll have drivers that people can really relate to and stick to and know who's who. So yeah, man. So you was marketing back then if you didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So
I tried. They tried. Yeah, I got the nickname. So, but yeah,
yeah,
no, our sport. I know it's kind of hard to televise it in such a good way because the cars are hauling ass and it's so
yeah,
quick. But
uh huh,
I've been telling people for years, like when they had the short courses going on here a couple of years ago, it was really popular.
yeah,
Back in our day, they used to have the Mickey Thompson races in different stadiums here, and they would have a race actually at the venue.
right,
So, like, let's say they're doing short course racing still, they need to have like an A scale race with like
mm-hmm.
maybe truggies or something at the event so the general public can come in and see what's really going on because our sport is amazing,
Right, right.
But I mean, if they're giving freaking pickleball, they're giving all these other sports TV coverage, and
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
think no one
saying?
really saw what RC is.
Right. That's what I'm
They'll be
saying,
shocked.
bro. Yeah, man. Like I said, they got cornhole. They got cheese rolling down the hill. Cheese rolling down the hill, stuff like that. What else they got? Bathtub racing. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like
What?
that, really. And
Yeah.
so like I say, man, if it's anything, I just believe that I know we got the worlds. I just believe that we could, if I don't know, but I believe it would be a good stretch to like even put it somehow like in the Olympics where everybody it's a world, it's done all over the world.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't it be a good sport to put like in a at the Olympics or something like that in a form like that? You know what I'm saying? And because that'll be the easiest way for everybody to come together and have a world's race or whatever. So man, I'm just with you, man. I just think it need to be marketed and put in front of people more often. And another question, man. I know you're big also in motocross.
Yeah. I like to ride.
Right. And then how come it's a lot of motocross guys that come to RC and do it. How come it's not none of the guys really has put it out or drawn more attention to put it in front more of a motocross race itself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Mm.
a lot of the pro motocross guys, you see them driving different times and different RC cars. I know a Horizon sponsoring a supercross team now. I mean, they're trying, but unless we got an event at, like, let's say Anaheim, we're at Anaheim too for the supercross.
Mm-hmm.
If they had a race with maybe just a selected 30 drivers, so it's not out of hand, but
Right.
have Joey or somebody build a track and a layout in the parking lot or in pits and showed, what the cars do. And then also have somebody selling kits, RTRs or whatever. I mean, that's where we
Right.
need to get the exposure. You have to be an event where people want to see it, not just, all the channels you can watch it. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you're never going to find it.
Exactly. Exactly,
So,
bro. Yeah, man. Like I said, cause it's a great event. Anybody can do it. It is not no age or or preference or gender bias or anything like that. Anybody that wants to try it can try. Anybody want to race can race. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
exactly.
that's I always wondered, bro. We got a whole lot of motocross guys that does it, but it's no one that really has. I'm not saying that they never tried or tried to put it in front of nobody, but I just feel like that industry will be the easiest way to get it out in front of people since it's a lot of motocross guys that's into RC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, man. So yeah, so okay. Once you got on going, doing A scale with Kyosho, um, so when did it come about that you started doing um getting sponsored with Works Engines and when how did all that came about? How did it start?
Well, it was with Kyosho when we were sponsored with them. We got sponsored
Mm-hmm.
with OS, and
OS. Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So then little by little, more manufacturers started came into the sport, and then Ron Hopkins approached me. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing this," and of course, everything's about money. But Ron and I are really good friends, and
Right.
also with Robin Nelson. So like something about Ron, I just liked his approach, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where it started. So we started doing our own motors, and he did his own fuel, and then we traveled the world everywhere. The three of us
Yeah.
forever. Me, Ron, and y'all jumping rental cars and everything.
Okay. So is Are they still doing anything? Are work still producing engines and stuff like that? Are they still doing anything?
From what I know, he's pretty much stopped and retired.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was kind of the thing we all, me, Ron, and Robin did together. And then once I kind of stepped away when my kids got a little bit older, I think they just kind of little by little. I know Robin's still racing, and then Ron made he did a lot of stuff before RC, so RC wasn't a money thing for him. He was already established, so he just did it out of the pure love. He used to
Right.
race on the road, so then then he finally had his first child, and I think he just kind of like me. When
Mm-hmm.
the kids start coming around, getting older, you change your focus and want to start becoming more of a family man because when you're racing RC, dude, there was times where I was gone 2 weeks out of the month.
Right.
And after a
Yeah.
while, you're
Yeah.
tired of traveling. And I'm sure Ty
Mm-hmm.
Teston and Cody can speak the same thing.
Yeah.
Where
Cody
it's like
said the same thing. Mm-hmm.
you get worn out, you're tired of eating fast food or hotels. I mean, it's fun when you're young, but when you start getting older, it's like, and when your career is coming towards an end, unless you have a pre-established career or you're going to go into that industry, at some point, like for me, my two sons got old enough. I was like, I'm done. I missed a lot of time with my daughter growing up.
Right.
I supported us, but then I told myself this time around with my boys that
Mm-hmm.
when they got to the age I can really start hanging with them and doing, let's say 8 to 10 years old, like they would come to the track and stuff, but they didn't really want to do RC.
Right.
But I wanted to go enjoy my life with them and do other
Okay.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yeah. Okay. Okay. So what did you? What was your favorite works engine? I know it was one that you really came close to winning the worlds with. What was that engine you really liked with
well, we
works?
we had the Quartz B7 edition, and that was the one I liked. But sometimes the engines I had were compared to the ones you could buy. Mine were always like detuned, so I had less power.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was probably my favorite engine from Ron was the B7. It's
Okay.
just so fast.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Cool. But yeah. So as far as the pros today, do you think some of the pros are punks compared to some of the pros back in the day? What's the difference in the attitude?
well, I mean, I haven't been at the track in a while, but I mean, I watch and read everything. I think there's no difference. I think the biggest thing is that society nowadays has changed.
Yeah.
So it's like, when we were younger, you and I are close to the same age. If we were doing sports and we got our ass kicked, we didn't get a participation award or anything. We
Yeah.
got to go work harder and do better. And I think now, my opinion, it's only my opinion, but I think some of the kids or society nowadays, everyone likes to complain about everything.
Right.
Or, well, I could have won if I had this, or I could have won if I, all the bullshit that you hear, like
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's entitlement a little bit. I'm not talking about so much RC either. You know what I mean? Racers are all going to yell and go nuts. But I mean, I almost think people lost sight of what it's like to win and what it's like to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really say there's any difference. Everybody it just seems like there's always complaining in racing. Everyone's always going to bitch about something.
Right.
But
That's right.
what I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking now, like in
Mm-hmm.
RC, there's so many more tire companies, so many more of this, so many car. It's so vast that
Right.
people realize there's so many different combinations nowadays. You're not. It wasn't like in the day where it was like basically Kyosho Bugen, Thunder Tiger, and maybe one or two other A scales. Now there's 8 competitive A scale cars and
Right.
different tire manufacturers, different engines. So it's like there's so many variables to winning. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
harder to win like it was back in the day. Where we're all kind of on the basic setup.
Yeah.
Proline was the only tire to run back in the day, really. So it's like now there's what 7, let's say, companies out there, and whoever's tire and compound is going to work that particular track and stuff is going to set you aside from anyone else. So it's like it's harder to win now than it was, I think, back then.
Yeah, man. It is. 'Cause like you said, it's so many companies to choose from as far as products and stuff like that. And but I always wondered, man, and I'd have been to a few races, like not DNC yet, but Psycho Nitro
Mhm.
um challenge. This is it. I mean, Psycho Nitro Blast. That's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And is it a difference between having passion for racing and just being like you said, spoiled brat. You know what I'm saying? Entitlement. Um, well, how would you distinguish the two?
Well, I mean, entitlement is like, okay, I know when I was growing up, and I know a lot of the older guys like Pavitas and some of the other guys. I mean, we when we were coming up and racing, you were so happy to get a 50% sponsorship, like just to save some money instead of buying stuff at the hobby shop. Like you had to really earn your way through the ranks. Like I
Yeah,
remember so many times I was really good friends with a lot of these top guys. They'd give
yeah,
me some tires here or something there, but all of a sudden, just because I was friends with them, I wasn't sponsored. Like I actually had to win races and start beating them to get noticed. And
yeah.
like really had to work hard to get my rides. And I think
Mm-hmm.
nowadays it's almost, it's just my opinion. I don't know for a fact, but it seems like, oh, if you know the right guy, you're going to get the right hookup. And that's all fine and dandy. But I think some of it, people have improved themselves,
Right, you
to
do.
be, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have the other people, keyboard warriors. They're like, oh, this guy's sponsored and he hasn't won anything. And you're always going to have that backlash too.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's never going to change. But I think, I, I really think it's different nowadays. Not as many guys had to suffer, and it's expensive too,
it is.
but
Right,
suffer having to get fast.
right. So
So
yeah, man. Like I said, I just seen races and how they react to different things. I done seen them just, which I know in the heat of racing, in the heat of competition, your emotions gonna get high. You know what I'm saying? And I
yeah,
done seen, different people that's pros cuss out their fathers that's helping them and stuff like that. And but you know, to me in that situation, I would have checked him. You know what I'm saying? I know, especially if you my son and you going off on me and I'm helping you and but yeah. So like I said, I just want to know, what is it a difference in between you just being passionate and wanting to win and just want to do your best, than kind of being, disrespectful to a point. So okay. Um so is any driver today that kind of remind you of yourself?
I don't know. I mean, I was unique and also an idiot, so hopefully they don't follow me in anything. To be honest with you,
Far okay, at least far as like driving style.
I always thought like, and I hate to say it because he knows I love to hate him and he loves to hate me. I like Jared Tebow a lot.
Yeah.
Tebow was really smooth and stuff, and carried himself well. But for some reason, we had this love hate relationship, and I know it didn't help the matter. But the older we've gotten and stuff, the more I can respect,
Yeah.
watching him grow up. So,
Hmm.
but no, I'd,
So
I'd say him.
yeah, okay. So tell everybody about you and Tebow's relationship on and off the track, and how you kind of initiated him into RC, and tell us everybody about their relationship.
Well, I just remember him coming into RC when he was really really young, and
Yeah.
with his dad and stuff, and then he was a young fast kid, and a lot of the other guys, especially Dagani, like Tebow, would get upset and had tears in his eyes. He was like 13 years old or 12. You know what I mean? Like, but passionate, and then a lot of people would tease him, and I know at times I did too.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, so young, hanging out with us, early 20, mid 20 guys, that it was probably not appropriate for him to hang with us. You know,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, no, I mean, I think what it is like I could see who he was growing up, and I knew he was going to be fast. So then him and I in the beginning were probably really good friends, or
Right.
he was young, and then as he
Hmm.
got faster and started kicking my ass, then I started to hate him. Not in a bad way, but then
But
like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
I got you. Yeah.
yeah.
So back
So
then, bro, what was your how was your practice regimen? You practicing racing and stuff like that. How did you approach your practice time and
well,
learning setup and stuff?
yeah, well, I mean, you never really learn the setup. I think you're always chasing it. I'd
Hmm.
race like pretty much every Tuesday night at Hot Rods,
Hmm.
because it's 45 minutes away from my house in Santa Clarita. And
Yeah.
then a lot of times I go race electric A scale on Wednesday night at Danny's track, West Coast.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to race twice a week if possible.
Hmm.
And then, depending on the weekend and what's going on with the kids and stuff, maybe like hit Rev or Thunder Alley.
Yeah.
but usually try to at least drive once, twice a week. That was my goal.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah. So was it anything particular you tried to work on? Was it more you just focused on driving, or was it more you focused on like you said, kind of learning your setup and seeing what this does and testing this, testing that?
yeah, I mean, I also had a local track here in Ventura. It's still there, Camarillo Raceway, the Road Runners. I go there a lot. Like, there's an outdoor track and stuff they have. Not so much for really for an A scale, more 10 scale, but like
Yeah.
I would go out there and test more than anything. Like hot rods is more about we call it the bull ring.
Okay.
20-second lap times just to get down your rhythm and not try not to crash. Lap after lap, and then go to Camarillo a lot, and that's where I do a lot of my like so-called testing, getting ready for the
Mm-hmm.
worlds, and then even sometimes run up to Santa Barbara depending if the track was open or not, and do even more testing depending, because that was a much bigger size track. But
Yeah.
I just spend my time locally around here.
Okay. That's what's up. Okay. So yeah, man. So how was it, racing with the Gunny and um again with Jam and J and JQ? Um how was it racing with the old schoolers like that? How was their competition level and just how was their personality, how they approach racing?
Well, I mean, I think like
Mm-hmm.
Jay Halsey was getting out of racing once I really started to get better. And then
Mm-hmm.
like Dragani, myself, Bradley, and we were all young, early 20s, making decent money, being paid to travel the world, and someone paying for it. So,
Yeah.
it was really nice. I enjoyed that time in my life with those guys. And then, but we also talked so much shit with each other after a while. I think we didn't realize how close of friends we were until once we started getting older and families and kids to realize we should have probably cherished those times more
Right.
because nowadays it's like you're afraid to fly anywhere in the world. It seems like there's shit going down everywhere that's out of control, but we were in a good time of racing. Money was really good in the industry, a lot of money to
Mm-hmm.
go around. And then went to a lot of races, a lot of good guys that we were so competitive with each other, but we also talked so much shit with each other too, in a good way.
Right. In a
I mean,
good
it was
way.
like,
I got you. Yeah,
yeah, but it
for
was
sure.
nonstop, nonstop. So, but that was our life. I mean, that's all we,
Yeah.
we were paid to go race. So,
It's cool. Yeah, man. Okay, what was like my friend, my RC Jers here, one of my RC family here, Mr. Jers said, what was one of your favorite races that you want to go that you went to the most?
um, I mean, shit, I did so many races. I looked forward to a couple one. Like when Dagani and I used in the early 2000s, we'd go to Paris every year for the Kyosho Masters. I looked forward to that race, even though
Okay.
Paris was like a shithole, man. It was so dirty and messy.
Really?
But yeah, it just from what you see on TV and what was there, it just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't my cup of tea. But the track and the facility and the people were amazing. So I look forward to that race every year. It was cool.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So you did okay. Okay, you ran the works engines, and then like I said, you started off running, I guess A scale with the Alphanas, and then
Mm-hmm.
you went to Kyosho, and then from there you went to Agama. How
Mm-hmm.
was the Agama car? Yeah.
Well, yeah, when that car first came out and stuff, I mean, it was decent, but it needed a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work, and I know they've still been working on it until this day. So, I mean, she was a little rough, but I mean, she wasn't bad. It just took a long time to
Mm-hmm.
get her strong. And it seems like they've gotten it a lot better nowadays.
Okay.
So,
And and then you went from the Agama, and then I think you did JQ for a while. How'd you like the JQ car?
I mean, the car wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed with Dagani and JQ and I are really good friends. So, I mean, it,
Okay.
it was nice to kind of be cool, hang out with those guys. And I haven't driven his new car yet, but from what I've seen stuff, it's gotten much better. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more like I went with JQ because him and I are, such good friends, and
Good friend. Yeah.
and I believe in him and his hard work. I mean, he drives me fucking nuts like everybody else, but I mean, I do believe in his heart and his passion. What I mean, that's
Right.
one thing you can't disrespect him for.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, that's one reason I kind of was drawn to the team because of the hard work he does. all the help that's out there that's available. Basically, he makes it easy, for you to learn setup, and you got
Yeah.
a whole lot of resources like with the Discord and with the Miyako community and stuff like that. It's a whole lot of information out there. If you really want to learn and get better, you really can. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse
Yeah.
now. So, but
Yeah. With his invisible speed thing. I mean, he's trying, like I said, everybody can love to hate him, but there's not many people can't say that he's not trying to do what a lot of us, or and he's doing what a lot of us couldn't do. I mean, he's trying to do his own car. He's trying to push his own thing, even though
yeah,
he shoots himself in the dick a lot of times. But
yeah.
his passion for the sport is there. You can't argue with that.
Okay. Just going back to the Goma car, and
Mhm.
they released the new concept car, the N1.
Yeah,
What you what you think about that? What you think about that car? How it looks to you?
I think it looks bitchin'. I don't know
Yeah.
how it really drives on rough tracks and stuff, but I mean, it's definitely outside the box of the normal A scale.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure on certain tracks and stuff. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of it. I've only seen what I can find on videos and people running it. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the concept's cool. I don't know how well it truly works over all the tracks and different styles. But I
Right.
mean, at least they're swinging for the fences. You never know. I mean, because nowadays everything's so pretty much, besides a couple of little changes amongst all of the ASCOs, they're really close to being all the same
Right.
in things. So at least they're trying something different. I
You're right
commend them
about
for
that.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So just over the past, all the cars you done ran, and the ones you done tried. Okay, we can do it like this. Which car from back in the past do you think could be competitive today?
Oh
Still
shit.
today.
I don't know. I mean, the cars have gotten so much better. I mean, I always liked my Kyosho 7.5 or the 777. Those were
Mm-hmm.
really good cars, but the shocks have changed a lot. But I mean, the quality of Kyosho made that car so reliable.
Yeah.
So, but every car company now, if you notice one thing over the, let's say, the early 2000s until we're at now,
Mm-hmm.
reliability has gotten a lot better. Drivetrains, everything. You don't see nowhere near the DNS like we had back in our day.
Yeah.
So, but I always think the Kyosho would probably, I don't know how fast it would truly be, but I know it would be, reliable for sure.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Um. From that, bro. From the past and to now, how do you think about how the industry has grown, and what do you like about how it is now compared to it was back when you was racing?
I mean, I haven't raced in some years here, but
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed how back in our day,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it was less corporate. I know it sounds probably funny saying that, but there was a lot less entities in the sport now,
Yeah.
or back then. So it was everybody was at the track, everybody was getting along. Now it seems like okay, it's kind of gotten a little bit bigger, or it's always been big, but getting bigger, and now you're having uh, obviously there's more and more manufacturers, more and more tire companies. So it's like you're making less and less the car companies themselves now, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's almost gotten to the point now where I think it's so saturated and then it's so corporate that it has changed the way the sport is. I think, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's fighting for that piece of the puzzle, but the puzzle is getting so much smaller and smaller
Yeah.
that it's a little cutthroat to me. But that's how some sports
I,
become.
I
The bigger
got
it
you.
gets.
I got. Yeah. And now Roar, we got a new Roar president, and he's really bringing Roar back to the forefront where they're supposed to be, because they've been lacking over the years. How important how important was Roar back then? Did
It's about as important it was to you guys this whole time too. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
okay.
Let's get real.
Yeah, I
Let's get
got you.
real.
Mm-hmm.
It's been all the same politics. They do the best they can, I guess. But we're never
Mm-hmm.
going to like them. They're supposing they are officials, but in reality, I never got along with half of them.
Yeah.
So hopefully they take the
Yeah.
sport to the right level and not just do it because one manufacturer is spending a lot of money, kind of tells them
Mm-hmm.
kind of how to do it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Roar's roar. I don't know if you're gonna
Yeah.
like them or hate them. I mean, I don't know. I don't.
I got you. Yeah. I mean, they
I
they
got
doing
really no.
more.
I
Yeah.
got nothing nice really to say about him. So,
It's all good, bro. But yeah, so just with today, far as you getting back in, are you thinking about maybe racing from time to time, or is any car that kind of caught your eye if you would have been paying attention to it that close? Um,
well, I mean, a lot of my friends are, some
hmm
of my buddies are at S Works, some of my buddies are at Hot Bodies and stuff. But I've been talking to somebody, and and if I did want to come back, obviously, everyone knows something happened with my son about a year ago, so that kind of, I was really ramping up to do something then, and then now I'm, life has changed a little bit. So, but if I did
hmm
come back, I would definitely do something with JQ, just
Okay.
because love to hate the guy, but I do appreciate him and like to
hmm
do something for him if I could in the over 40 class because Dagani sucks and can't do anything. So
Ah, the gun has been wearing it out now with the over 40 now, Jeremy. You gonna have to come. You gonna have to bring it now. He been cutting up 40
yeah, I know.
class. Hey, him and what's the guy name from Cali? Dondo or something. I forgot his name.
Oh, Philip
Philip.
Altondo.
Yeah, him. And the gun. Yeah, the gun. They go at it all the time. All, all the time. 40 plus class. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, they'll be good. You'll love the car, bro. You'll love it.
yeah. I was
It's
talking.
yeah,
Oh,
it's better than the JQ.
yeah,
JQ car. The yellow edition and the black edition is way better. Way
yeah.
better. He done a great
So
job on this ride on that Miyako. Yeah, it is.
yeah,
So
so we'll see what happens. Hopefully
hmm
something will happen soon.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, man, just if you don't mind, bro, just tell everybody if you don't mind what's going on with your son and how he doing and um
Where
yeah.
we're at.
Where y'all at with him and everything.
Well, for people that don't know, not this last year. So what are we in 24? So in October 2022, we were racing at Glen Helen, and I was in race 5. He was in race 7, and on the main track,
Yeah.
uh, in the far back right corner, a big pile up. Um, and he ran into the pile, and other people ran on top of him. So he ended up breaking, broke his spine, crushed his spine and his spinal cord,
Oh.
and did a
Mm-hmm.
lot of damage and became paralyzed from the waist down. But we didn't have no, his spinal cord was crushed. We didn't have
Yeah.
no leak, no tear. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been very traumatic for all
Yeah.
of us.
Mm-hmm.
So and we're just reliving life, and it's been a little over a year now, and yeah, it's been tough, but now
Yeah.
that he's always been stronger than I have. I'm not going to lie to you. Nor am I going to sit here and make a. I've had a lot of rough times, as any
Mm-hmm.
parent. So,
Well, sure.
but
Yeah, bro. Like I say, just keep God first and continue to pray over him. And y'all just continue to do what the doctors tell you to do, and just keep God first, and you gonna see a miracle, man. And just because just being open and transparent about it, it says a lot about your heart, and
yeah,
that, like I said, that means a lot far as you being a genuine man, and it's gonna it from your actions being an awesome man and keeping God in your life, it's gonna bless your son, and he's gonna have a speedy recovery, and he's gonna
yeah,
be he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. So yeah, man.
yeah.
So yeah. So any advice to what would be some good advice for, like, I asked this to Ty.
Hmm.
Um, what would be some good advice you would give, like, that intermediate driver that's like right up under the cusp of going over transitioning to that pro class? What would be the things that he could do to get over that hump? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I know for me, when I was younger, if I couldn't beat somebody, I try to like watch them and even become friendly with them to see if I could like practice with them. Because like I was always taught from my father and stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to be faster, you got to go race with the fast guys, right? So if there's a guy that's like maybe he doesn't live as close to like where all the fast guys truly are racing at. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, you could be fast all you want by yourself at your own local track, but when all the fast guys are, let's say, 3 hours away
Mm-hmm.
racing and they're much faster than you need to start hanging out with those guys to get to that race pace. So I mean,
Right.
because all of us can build a car, all of us can do the same stuff, but in order to get that pace, you need to go hang out with the guys that have that pace. So I mean, you got to. That's the best thing to do is race with guys that are faster than you.
Yeah. So get race with the people that's faster than you to help you pull you to get to that next level in speed that you need to get up to that pro level class, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, brother, man. Like I say, I wasn't gonna keep you long, man. And like I say, I'm gonna let you get back to your family and everything. And let me see, my RC, hey, RC family, y'all got any questions that y'all want to ask Jeremy?
I do want to
If you
say a couple things here. You know,
go ahead.
my son got his driver's permit, so he, bought him a car. His sister's old used 2020 Kia thing. He's out driving with hand controls. So
Okay.
that kid's an inspiration. And like I talked to you, after my son got hurt, I wasn't drinking, started drinking a lot more. Crying myself
Yeah.
to sleep. And I
Mm-hmm.
told you here, uh, I have like 45 days now clean from drinking. I had this huge thing about God and my son during Christmas,
Yeah.
and because my girlfriend I'm dating, her name is Monica. Uh, she had she gave me some words of wisdom. She's like, "Look, you need to be here for your kids." And I mean, I was just tearing myself apart for guilt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hated God, hated all this shit, and I'm not a big God believer because I believe in something. You got to believe in something. I mean, I don't know if our God's an alien or what. We can go down that rabbit hole another day. But she, she made me open my eyes, and then I finally had that talk with my son, like a true talk with him, and let go of all the pain I was suffering, even though he was doing amazing.
Right.
I was basically, crying myself to sleep every night and drinking. So
Mm-hmm.
once I got that shit off my shoulders and had that talk with him, especially, my lady really kicked me in the ass. Everyone was supporting me, but I
Right.
wasn't supporting myself because everybody was sad for me.
Mm-hmm.
But she is the one that like spoke up saying, hey, look, you got to get yourself, back.
Back.
And
Right.
then,
So she was
my,
what you needed. Mm-hmm. She
yeah,
was what. Yeah. She was what you needed, man. And
for sure.
yeah. And how did y'all meet? How did y'all meet?
Well, my daughter was, rides
Mm-hmm.
horses. So this is
Yeah.
one of her friends out at the stable. And, I haven't wanted to date anyone in a while and had some other issues with my past after my son got hurt,
Yeah.
and so she basically set us up on a blind date. And no, I mean, I met somebody that was supposed to be put in my life for a reason, and I'm not
Yeah.
telling her, like, I'm not doing this just to make her feel better. I mean, God and everybody works in mysterious ways. Even with her and I were just became friends. I mean, she's the one that made me push me to have this talk with my son to let him
Right.
know, how
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling. Because
Right.
if people out there hear me, it's not only your child that gets hurt, it's also the parents that get hurt, and
Mm-hmm.
and we suffer too.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so once I had enough strength to talk to him, let him know all the pain I was going through because of her, it
Right.
allowed me. My son was doing great. He was doing awesome. But I like I said, it was me. I just wish it was me. Kept telling
Yeah.
myself it. So anyway, got that off of me and talked to him. And then I woke up, like I told you, and her. I woke up the next morning not feeling hungover, not having a desire to drink. And once I did that with him, not I was unhappy with God, unhappy with all this other bullshit, and then finally just
Mm-hmm.
let it go.
Yeah, man. Like I say, it just
Felt good.
right. And I just know in my life, God helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like with my mom's situation, um, she take care of my grandmother. Grandmama's like 94, mama 74
Mm.
herself. She take care of her, and she recently hurt her back. Taking care of grandmama, like cause grandmama's bedridden,
Mm.
and she turns her and all that stuff. So she was turning her and pulled something in the back and end up
Ooh.
she's been down for about my mom's been she was down for about a good 2 months. And
Oh.
yeah, man. And so just through that transition, just seeing her, being down, we had to, hire people in to really now look after both of them. Did that, but like I said, God made a way. I'm 2 hours away from my hometown down here in Montgomery, so it takes me 2 hours and a half to get to my mom's house. So just man, that whole situation, just being patient, helping mom. Now she's back healthy, walking again. Um, she's able to go in there and change grandmother again, but she's just taking it slow until she can get her strength all the way back in mind. And so they're just showing how important family is, and then how God can keep us in our right mind and keep us where we can have options to be able to hire people to come in like it was to help my mom. Me being able to go up down the road, see how she doing, make sure they're straight, come back, and just just the ability to have options to be able to go and help and provide for your family is just it's amazing. So like in your situation, you there with your son. Yeah, he had an accident, but he's still living.
Yep.
You still here. You got an awesome new girlfriend. Um, you have a daughter. Daughters.
Yeah, I have 3 kids. I have my daughter, which most
Okay.
of the art industry knows,
Yeah.
Nikki. Then my
Okay.
son Dane
Okay. Yeah.
just turned 17. Then I have a son Seth who's 15.
Okay.
So
Okay. And yeah, all of them still healthy. So it's like, man, you just have to sometime we have to step back and see what's really happening. Like what's really going on. I'm still here. He's still here. He's hurt, but he's still here. So we just have to be thankful for the time we have, what I'm saying, with our family. And a lot of times, like when we go through stuff like you've been through, like I had Cody on yesterday. He was telling us about, his substance addiction and
yeah,
how him going through that really made him grow up and be a man and be accountable and just be able to say it was just my fault making bad decisions, and not blaming on nobody else. And he really wanted help to get over that, and he's over that. So we
that's
just
good.
and then that's making us stronger. You know what I'm saying? They're just making us stronger for whatever situation may happen in the future. We know if we've been through this, we can go through whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, I agree. And it's
yeah.
okay to talk about everything. I think a lot of people, a lot of men are afraid to cry. I mean, a lot of my friends like Tebow knows, I mean, he's way more church going than I am. I'm not a big believer going to church. That's my opinion, but I know
Mm-hmm.
there's a higher power and I know a lot of people look at things differently.
Right.
But after my son got hurt and stuff, I just realized that, it's okay to not be
To
okay.
talk. Mm-hmm. That's right. And
And Cody, I've seen Cody through all his shit, so I know exactly. I'm glad that he's doing good, but it's
yeah.
okay not to be okay. It's okay to talk like me. I've had problems with drinking because I grew up partying with everyone traveling around the world, and you know, but
Mm-hmm.
it's no excuse. But it's okay to talk about it.
Right.
It's okay. Hey, I'm not perfect. Nor do I care to be. I'm just doing the best I can, and hopefully my experiences and the stuff that I'm learning makes my kids better, makes my family stronger, and also makes me
Right.
to be to let other people know that I'm not okay, and I'm okay not being okay to
Right.
learn to be okay.
That's it. And that's what Cody said. The same thing he said. Now I see now. Open your mouth if you're going through stuff. And then on the flip side of that, now just say a fellow racer, motocross guy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what road he going down, and he might be like Jeremy, man. You see what I'm doing, and he might not. Okay, he might not even tell you, but you see what he doing, and
Mm-hmm.
now and you can relate to him to be like, bro, you may need to, slow down this. What you stressing? I noticed you've been drinking a little more, or whatever. You stressing. I noticed it, bro, because I was the same way. You know what I'm saying? So now you can talk to him. Now you're more relatable. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's that's a great plus too. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I
yeah,
agree.
man, yeah, man. And then and even with the RC stuff, I know it get even in RC, we be on contracts. We have to perform a certain way, and that's extra pressure. Sometimes our stuff don't work right, or we might just get bad equipment from the company that we running from, and we didn't know it's like this, and it's hard to go back and be like, hey man, this stuff ain't worth nothing for real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all putting it out here, and I got to run it, and
Yeah,
so it's just more stress on you. But like you said, more times you get with somebody, you can talk it out, and they can relate to you. You can come to that agreement where you don't have to go down a road that you get so stressed that you become addicted to certain
Exactly.
things and
Well,
situations. So
like
yeah, brother. Yeah,
I think
man. So
I
go
think
ahead.
a lot of the stuff with this RC, I think a lot of people, and I know, and I can only speak for myself, is like, life. Remember, everybody needs to remember you're racing RC cars. You're having a good time, paid or not, and free and not. Cherish those moments.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sponsored by a company and their stuff's not that good, don't badmouth them behind their back. Try to at least talk to them in their face, but appreciate what you have. Because for
Right.
me, I was cocky and dumb and didn't really understand everything until I got older, and especially my son got hurt. That, what, it could all be taken away from you.
That's
Appreciate
it.
being at the RC track, appreciate what you're doing, and help maybe the guy next to you, and treat a human being pretty, as best you can, because you're racing, you're having a good time, and enjoy it, because it could all be taken away next day.
Right.
So
Amen. That's it, brother. That's it, man. Yeah. Anything else? I noticed that you had some on your Facebook. You was doing some merchandise, some clothes, some you got
uh,
a shirt brand, or maybe one of your friends or something that y'all was doing, or
yeah.
um
Everybody in the RC industry knows I own a t-shirt company, a big shirt
okay.
company. So I do like t-shirts and embroidery, wearing my moto whips for Justin Morrison. So
Okay.
a lot of stuff everyone knows that I post is all the different companies I do stuff for. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I've been doing that. My dad started that business 40 something years ago.
Okay.
So like I do everything for Associated. I do a lot of stuff for a lot of companies.
I
So
got you.
yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, man. But bro, this has been awesome, man. And it has flown by. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, we definitely gotta do a part two. And I just want you to be able to, just to tell, everybody in the industry that you ain't really been dodging them. It's been stuff you've been going through. And because there's been a lot of guys, bro, that's been asking, would like to do, podcasts with you and stuff like that. And I just thank you for trusting in me to do one of your first podcasts,
it is
back
my first.
again.
So
Yeah. Well, doing the first podcast. Thank you. Thank you for
you're
letting
welcome.
me be the hey. You know what I'm saying? Let me get a big hey, let me get a big okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I appreciate, man, that's for letting me be the first. You know what I'm saying? And this really is gonna help me on my end, as far as me just growing in the industry, as far as doing podcasts and stuff like that, videos, YouTube stuff, and I just thank you, man, again, just for taking time out to sit down with me for an hour. You know what I'm saying? So
No problem, man. I appreciate you doing what you're doing, because you're trying to help grow the sport, and that's a lot of people should respect that.
yeah, man, that's all we here for. My RC family here, man, they just been supporting me from day one. Good people here, man, bashers, people that does
We're all
boats,
bashing at
trains.
heart.
I know that's how everybody started off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So exactly, yeah. So but yeah, man, like I said, I pray for you and your family. Like I said, your son, he's gonna be fine. Um, God got him. He's gonna be fine. So yeah, brother. Anything you want to promote or anything like that, just keep me in mind. And I don't mind, bringing you back, or either I'm definitely gonna keep in touch, in contact with you. So definitely we're gonna do a part two. But anything else you got going on, um, you can go and shout it out. Or again, if you got anything going on in the future that you want to come on and promote or whatever, just hit me up. Think of me.
Yeah,
Got
I
your back.
will. I do have stuff going in the works. I just can't say nothing yet. So hopefully you guys will see me at the track soon. And before I do it, I'll come to you first and show you everything first.
Shoot, that's what's up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. And again, bro, thank you, thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Would you
you.
how many nationals you 16 national
16.
champs?
I think 16.
16 national champs, Jeremy Quartz,
16 or
y'all.
18. I don't remember. 16 or I
Hey,
forget. 16.
regardless
I
of what it is, he is the truth, Jeremy Quartz in the RC Lounge. Again, a big applause to you, man, and your family. Here you go. Yes,
Thanks, man. I
sir.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And
All right,
bro,
it's time
just
for Super Bowl. Get off
that's
the
it.
phone
Let's
with
get on.
Super
Let's
Bowl.
see what this game talking about. All right, y'all. EKJ 24,000 here want to say peace, and again, treat people the way you want to be treated. And again, hey, thanks for the support always. And y'all have a good evening. Appreciate you. All right, y'all.
Guys. See you later. We're going to Super Bowl.
Right.
Bye.
Let's go. Hey. Hey, y'all. I told y'all I had that heat coming. Didn't I tell y'all I had this heat coming? Y'all gonna believe EKJ. Y'all gonna believe me. I'm telling you. I love y'all. So I'm gonna bring y'all the best that I can get to bring on here. So thank y'all for joining in to another episode of the RC Lounge podcast. And let's go check this game out and see what these boys doing on the field. All right, y'all. Super Bowl Sunday, baby. Let's go see what they doing. All right, y'all. Later.